Hello and bonjour. Uh, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my life. I grew up with a father and mother, both abusive. Lived in total chaos. Lived in rags, clothes, ragged clothes, and dishes were piled up high in the sink. Never cleaned, never washed. Always piled up high. The place was always a disarray, always messy, always dirty, always, yeah, like I said, dirty. My father, he was an alcoholic, past alcoholic now. He's no longer an alcoholic. I've been recently talking to him. Uh, he, then my mother, on the other hand, she's abusive. She broke my arm when I was just a kid. I've been in and out of group homes and stuff like that when I was just a baby. Um, when I was 7, I was taken out of my care of my father. Haven't seen him since then. I'm 23 now. Add the math if you want. Um, Left my father's care. The social workers took me to my aunt's. I stayed there for a month. Left there, went to a foster care for a month. That didn't end up well. Left there. Went to another foster care, the Donovans. I'm not gonna say the first names, and I'm not gonna say the last name. Well, I already did, but Donovan. And then I moved. I stayed there for about 4 years. I was out of control. I was hard to handle, so I left. They took me out of that care, of the Donovans' care, and moved me into a group home when I was 10, called Squire Street Group Home in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I stayed there for uh, from 10 till I was like 13, 14, and then I left there, went to another foster care called the Nixes. Stayed there for a year, maybe less than a year. I started getting into the drugs and stuff like that, alcohol, cigarettes, you name it, when I was in high school. This was during grade 9. Then I left, I was taken out of their care and brought back to the group home at Squire Street, but Squire Street I ended up or something ended up getting in conflict between me and two different people, another person, not two people, but another person. So I had to move to another group home, which was Squire Street, and I stayed there from 13 to 14 till I was 18. Or sorry, 13 to 14 till I was maybe 17, and I moved into the McKay's house, and I stayed there for a little while. Couldn't handle it. I told my social worker that they were basically treating me and mistreating me. They moved me out of there, put me back into Squire Street. When I was from 17 till I was 18, I moved out from Squire Street, and then moved out on my own. From 18 till 20, or from when I turned 18, I moved out of Squire Street and moved into my own apartment on Aberdeen Street, Fredericton, New Brunswick, and stayed there until I was 18. Till I was no longer. I was still 18 when I lost the place like 3 months afterwards, and then lost that place due to my uncle sexually assaulting me, and I had to drop out of high school. I started dabbling in soft drugs, and then I started dabbling in the hard drugs as I lost my place, and I lost my trust in my family because they disowned me because they thought that I was lying because I was they thought I was lying because they thought I was a lying compulsive liar. I'm sorry that I keep re, uh, repeating myself, but it's the only way I can gather thoughts. Anyway, after I lost the place and I started doing hard drugs, about 2 years later, I bought some coke off of a friend, and let's just say I took a big line of coke, and then I found out that it was actually fentanyl, and I ended up in the hospital uh, in a coma for 2 days. Had my my stomach pumped. Uh, and after that, I realized I needed help, so I went to detox and got myself help for 2 weeks, and then I went to Portage Atlantic for 6 months, and then I've been sober for almost 3 years, and then I just relapsed recently there is more to the story. I will add more here and there in bits and pieces, but this is the story of my life, and there will be more uh, uh, pieces to it later on, like more in depth to it, of like why I left the group homes, certain group homes, and why I left my father's care, etc., etc. But for now, this will do. God bless, and have a good day. Cheers.